Hello, fellow parent. Welcome to Mornings with Dr. Marnie, where I share my experiences and knowledge in teaching financial literacy to kids and teens, as well as parenting and child development tips. Today, I will be sharing with you 3 things that your child needs in his or her financial literacy journey. And it's not about money. Of course, you need a responsible and knowledgeable caregiver who creates an environment conducive for learning. If you have good brain structure, but your environment is not conducive for learning, your brain will be wired differently. A common example nowadays, children less than 2 years old are exposed to electronic media, gadgets, tablets, cell phones. No? Do you know that this is not recommended for children less than 2 years of age? 50% of the major brain connections are already happening at around 2 years of age. So there should be proper stimulation in different areas of the brain. What happens in gadget exposure is a lot of the stimulation goes to the visual system or visual part of the brain. So the language systems are compromised. The principles of brain development states that neurons that make connections thrive, and neurons or nerve cells that don't make connections die. Do you know how precious your child's brain is? Once those brain cells are gone, you cannot replace it. So you have to nurture the brain that was given to your children. The brain is priceless. Even if you have trillions, gazillions of dollars or money in the bank, you cannot buy brains anywhere. So you have to nurture what is given to your children. There are already studies that children exposed to electronic media at a young age is at high risk for language delays. Do you want that for your children? So please don't expose them to electronic media, especially if they're 2 years and below. You need to have a good foundation in language to have higher order thinking skills in your financial education journey because you need to make decisions, you need to plan. So it's very important to really nurture that brain early on before you even start learning. Either you choose financial education or just traditional education or both. I would suggest that you read to your children instead, even if they are little babies. Studies have shown that reading to your children really improves their language development. So make it a habit to read to your children before they go to sleep. If you notice that your child does not pay attention when you read to them or have red flag signs of language delay, please consult your pediatrician. And most importantly, your child needs a fully functioning brain. Why? What do you need to think? Your brain. What do you need to make decisions? Your brain, right? Okay, what do you need to plan? Again, you need your brain. That's why you need to nurture, protect, and give a lot of good stimulation to your child's brain. You can do many things and go where you want to go in life if you have a fully functional and properly wired brain. Just like what Robert Kiyosaki said, our mind is our greatest asset. If trained well, you can create great wealth. So it's very important to nurture your child's brain. So first and foremost, you should have good nutrition for proper brain development. I decided to breastfeed my son because I know you have extra IQ points if you breastfeed your child compared to those who are bottle fed. But it's not easy. It's very painful. But it's a good feeling because it's a good bonding time between me and my son. Good nutrition is cumulative throughout the years. Bad nutrition is also cumulative throughout the years. That means it adds on every day because we eat every day, correct? So it's important for your child to have good nutritious food for proper brain development. Look up the Pinggang Pinoy or healthy food plate as a guide for proper nutrition for your child. If you still need help on what's good nutrition for your child, please ask your pediatrician. You should model proper nutrition to your children. So they should be eating with you at the dinner table. And they will always model what they see on the dinner table. So I suggest when your child eats, he should be eating with you and not in front of the TV or the computer. So we have to be good role models for our children. Proper sleep appropriate for each age group is also very important. Children who are sleep deprived are at risk for mental health problems. Do you know that? Teens who don't sleep enough are more than twice as likely to report depressive symptoms. If you have mental health issues, it has an effect on your future financial capacity. Do you know that? So make sure that your children have adequate sleep. Physical activity is also very important. As parents, we need to find ways for our children to move, especially during the pandemic season. Running around, playing outside is very important because if you run around, you become tired, you breathe deeply, and you inhale more oxygen in your system. And oxygen is very important for good synaptic connections in the brain. So we need not complain, we should be resourceful, and we should find ways on how our children will have this physical activity at home. So what does your child needs? Before he or she even starts his or her financial literacy journey. Number 1, a responsible caregiver. Number 2, an environment conducive for learning. And number 3, a fully functioning brain. Okay? So if your brain is wired differently and you notice language delay or developmental delay, please seek consult at once. I will eventually explain in my next episodes why early intervention of developmental delays is important so that you can rewire your children early and prepare him for his learning in the future. I hope you learned something today. So as I mentioned earlier, in the next episode, I will discuss the red flag signs of developmental delays and why early intervention is very important. You have to prepare your child to learn and experience the different kinds of education available out there. Whether you choose traditional education, financial education, or you combine both. Your child needs a fully functioning brain ready to learn. If you find this video informative, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Bye. Take care and stay safe and healthy.